You see in the title, why do black women cheat on good men? Now, the reason why I didn't cheat on good men is because I date mostly black women. And in my experience, uh, they have been known, and we know them to cheat on a good man. We know this. I'm not the only one who's experienced this. I've been on both sides of the coin. I've been cheated on and cheated. Some people go and say, "Well, you attract, what you get," or some old nonsense like that. Well, listen, even the good suburban housewife is cheating on the good man. As a matter of fact, the common theme is good guys finish last. Um, there's something to be said about that because a lot of women who were, hey, what's going on, Star? A lot of women who have good guys, want to go down to Atlanta and go to the All Star, whatever, and turn up and party and then get ran through by a couple of strangers they don't know, 5 or 6 at a time, and come back to their men all worn out and act like nothing happened. And we know that women are doing this. Freaknik is another prime example of that. You can, and many men have lost their good, relationships to women who've gone down to Freaknik just to be, used up, or Black Bike Week, or, any other major event where females are going to be acting in a very, promiscuous fashion. We've seen it over and over again. We've seen the good guy break down and cry. We've seen the good guy turn bad. We've just seen it. I've known some good women. Okay, let me give you an example. I always like to use myself. Okay, so this wife I met one day. I didn't even know she was a wife. And basically, she met me in the store and, talked to me for a second, left the store, came back the next day, met me again, decided to get in contact with me. And, during our few conversations on the phone, then she told me, I'm married. I didn't care because she was beautiful and I should have cared, but I didn't. Nonetheless, she told me why she's cheating. Now, her excuse was she's cheating because, and I'm the first guy that she, started messing with, but she's decided to cheat because her husband was sleeping with prostitutes. He was a trucker. So he would go out, sleep with prostitutes, and then he would come home, tell her, and then he would beat her. So she was like, this isn't working out. I bore him 3 children, yada, yada, yada. And and this is the reason why I did it. Because once I heard that, and I'm looking at this beautiful Stepford wife, this damn woman was she's gorgeous. And I'm like, if I had a woman like this, there is no, if I could afford a woman, I mean, the house they were living in was crazy. She was driving a BMW. I'm living in a 1 bedroom apartment, got my heat turned off, heating my whole spot by space heaters. She's coming over to my apartment, driving her fancy car to my little 1 bedroom apartment and hanging out with me in the freezing cold. She's like, it's cold in here. I'm like, don't worry about it. I put a blanket over the space heater. We get up under the blanket. Boom, it gets warm real quick, and it just bugged me out because she just kept coming back and coming back and she did that for like years. And she started messing around with other people, and eventually she left him and remarried to somebody else. Now she is now a housewife. Her mannerism is housewife. You know what I mean? But she got out there simply because dude was kicking her ass and was cheating on her. and whatnot. So that was her excuse, and to me, it's a pretty valid excuse. Go out and look for somebody else if somebody's mistreating you. You don't have to stand for that. And she left, and now she got some guy who was like 6'6" or something, big old basketball player guy. Nonetheless, so I can't blame you for getting away from your husband or boyfriend if he's whooping you and he's cheating on you and yelling at you, and then he would toss her in a closet, and you know he was just off the chain. I actually met him before too, and he was just an asshole. So it was just crazy. Nonetheless, but the common theme does not go like that. The common theme for women to cheat on men is no other excuse than they were horny. One chick I heard, this wasn't in my case, but I heard her say on a show she got bored with the nice guy. She just got bored. So she broke up with him and then went and found herself some crazy dudes and start getting used up. And then once she got, her stuff all blown out, she went back to being a normal, just I just want to be a regular girl now. After you doing threesomes, two guys run a train on you, now you want to go back to normal. Well, like I said, those spirits, they hang with you. So eventually you get found out. But nonetheless, it's like, what makes you leave a good man? See, there's a big focus on being married in our community. We're finding a lot of other nationalities are coming into our community and they're married. I mean, husband, wife, children. And we're looking at our statistics, and our statistics are just outrageous. Baby mama here, baby mama. Matter of fact, being a baby mama is being promoted. And we know this goes, way back to stuff that white people did to us and all this stuff and Jim Crow laws and Planned Parenthood. We know all of this, but nonetheless, there still is a such thing as marriage. They're not stopping us from being married. But what makes a woman get bored of the good guy? If the guy's, going to work, he's taking care of you, you have a child with him, he's taking care of the child, he's doing everything textbook. What's wrong with that? What makes a woman go, you know what? I need to go out and, to the nearest truck stop and just let somebody do whatever to me. And people are doing this. One of them was famous, the Janice Dickinson. She actually did that. She just went out to a trucker stop and just whoever wanted it, she let them have it. The model, Janice Dickinson. She actually did this. What makes a woman do this? See, good guys want to know. Because when we meet a good girl, we're thinking, I'm going to keep this good girl. Yes, this is God sent me this good, wholesome piece of loving, just just looking like the summer, just gorgeous. God sent me her, and we get along. We're gonna do all this stuff together. We do all this stuff together, and then it's like the right thing is to do is to marry her. Boom, you marry her. You're like, I'm going to do right by God and country and my woman. I marry her. I've met her family. Boom, 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 boom. You meet the family, you do everything correct, everything down to the letter. You listen to whatever the older people are saying, do this, do this, do this, and you did every single thing right. And then she goes and finds her. I mean, after she's married 3 or 4 years, she just gets bored, and she has single friends. This is why they tell married people don't hang around single friends. And her single friends are talking about their sexcapades, and they're talking about how they went out and turned up, and she's thinking, I'm 25 and I got to go home and take care of my kid and my husband. You guys are out here turning out. You guys are out here, just having free sex, which there is no such thing. You guys are out here just having a good time, so on and so forth. But I'm stuck. with my husband taking care of my child and blah 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 blah. I want to do what you're doing. And then she goes and does it. Then of course the husband finds out, he's all full of tears, yada yada yada, and she just doesn't care. All her Christian values thrown out the window. All the values her mother taught her if she was a good mom thrown out the window. Anything worth listening to is thrown out the window. That's what she does. She throws it all away. Why, ladies? What is out there that you didn't get when you were younger? It's the same thing. Why? Why go through all that trouble? Listen, some of you women are doing this to men and you're finding the grave early. I mean, there are some men who just can't take it. They cannot take being cheated on and they're getting rid of you. There are some men who warn you and they're the nice gentlemen, good guys, and they warn you, listen, if you have any inclination of going out there and doing whatever with some random guy, you need to let me know now before I go and spend all this money and spend all this time and all these feelings and buy this house and car and take care of you. Let me know now. Go ahead and take care of that. No, honey, I just want to be with you, blah blah blah. 3 years later, she got some guy coming over while you're at work, and of course you're going to find out. Then when you come home and you find both of them in your bed and you lose your mind and she loses her life, the women who hear this story automatically feel for the woman. I don't. I feel for the guy. I feel for the guy. And then, of course, the women come out with this. He was abusing her. No evidence of that whatsoever. Come to find out, the guy wasn't doing anything to her. He did everything right. And he warned her. Cases like this are rising. Why, ladies? Why don't you just stay single if you want to be a hoe? Why take a man through that? Why try a man? Because that's what you're doing. You're trying him. I tried to date this one lady, and she said, I take all the fun out of cheating just because I told her, look, if you want to sleep with somebody else, tell me. She's like, you take all the fun out of cheating. There's adventure in cheating on someone you love. There's adventure in not being caught. And then there's the adventure in being caught. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna beat me up? Is he gonna, wreck my car? Ooh, there's drama in my life. Why? Why? Why do you want to go down to the jail and see your dude who loves you and is locked up in there and it's just going crazy because he's in jail because his feelings got taken over because of something you did? Why? Why do you want your people to be coming to your grave, putting flowers on your grave because you tested the wrong man? Why, ladies? And this is happening all over the place. Just people are, because we know the jail system. We know as soon as you say, he did this to me, police are going to come and arrest the man without question. They're going to come and arrest the man. The man's going to lose his job. He's going to lose everything. He's going to lose the rights to everything until he's found innocent. And hopefully there's a recording somewhere. Other than that, that man is guilty. We've seen it over and over and over. So men are like, we're not even going to go through the jail system. You try me, you're going to get hurt. Period. Dot. And women are now staunchly aware of this. You know that we're at a tipping point in the black community because they are hunting black men and just doing away with us as if we don't matter at all. There was a case recently in New York, in Queens, in New York, where a woman uh, claimed her dude she went down to the police station when he left, said, there was domestic violence. So the police came to the house and walked in the house and they said, well, where is he now? She says, I don't know. And they said, does he have, you know he has a weapon. She's like, yeah. They said, where is the weapon? She said, it's usually upstairs. She says, but I looked and it's not there now. Now they said, we suggest you get your stuff together right now and leave. These two police officers are telling this woman to get out the house. Now, this woman is hemming and hawing like she doesn't want to leave. She's like, well, my kids, they're in school and blah, blah. Listen, for your own safety, like your kids are saved. Your kids are safe right now. Get out the house. This woman is still standing there like there is not an emergency when there is clearly an emergency. The man has a loaded gun. You know he has a loaded gun because you didn't find it upstairs where it usually is, and he's outside somewhere. Next thing you know, the guy shows up at the door, and when he walks in the door, he starts blasting. He hit both the cops. I don't know if he's alive, I doubt it, but the pure fact is this woman could have avoided all of that. See, drama, she wanted some drama to happen. If the man is doing domestic violence to you and you don't want to leave the house, then you want the drama. You want it to happen to you. You want to go around and cry to your friends and to your mama and say how bad the guy is doing. You want people to feel for you. You want the attention. This woman could have simply been like, when in the house, she wasn't even in a state of emergency when she knew the guy had a gun. She was just like, my kids, I'm just going to stay here, even though there's a man committing domestic violence against me and he has a gun. Yeah, you knew it. He has a weapon. You know he has a weapon. Oh, but I'm just gonna act like everything is calm. No, if I had a girlfriend and I personally went to the police station and said this woman's committing domestic violence on me, and the police came back with me, that's already serious. And then they told me, look, you need to get your stuff and leave, especially after they knew this woman has a loaded pistol and she's within the vicinity. They're warning. Listen, I wouldn't be there. I would have left. I wouldn't have been talking about my kids, nothing. I'll go pick my kids up myself at the school. That's a simple phone call. Hey, I'm coming to pick you up. Your father's not coming or your mother's not coming to pick you up. Yada, yada, yada. Boom, that could have been worked out. Listen, these women want drama in their life. They want attention. They want unwarranted attention. They want all kinds. Listen, this is why the one girl said she was bored with the good man she had. And she's got a kid. 29 years old and you're bored. What are you looking for at 29? What is out there that you don't already know about? What, more D? Listen, there's D everywhere. You can always get D. But listen, if you're that much of a freak, why don't you just tell the person you love, listen, why don't we start swinging? Now, he may not like that, but if you present to your man that you have some hoe tendencies, you're sexually curious about something. Listen, it may sting a little bit because he's like, what, I'm not enough? And you're like, yeah, you're enough, but I want to try different stuff. Listen, that is an adult conversation. I can't fault a woman for saying, "Hey, honey, let's try something new." I can't. I can't. I can't fault a woman for that. Yeah, it's hard to do, but nonetheless, if you guys are pillow talking and all of a sudden you say something and it turns him on, then boom, it's like, okay, well, let's go with that. I got a friend and she's cute. You've seen her before. She's cute. What's good? Can we invite her over the next time and, have dinner and, Netflix and chill? Oh, ladies, why can't we do that? You know what I'm saying? And if she's interested in whatever his name is, it might not go over that well, but it is not going to equal you getting beat up. It's not going to equal you getting shot. It's not going to end up the cops coming in and blasting all three of you. That's not what it's going to equal to. What it's going to equal to is maybe the husband's a little bit hurt. That's what it's going to equal to. The husband's going to be a little bit in his feelings. But so what? The husband's in his feelings. Now you know what you can and cannot do. But at least you have a husband. At least you got somebody to help you, and you got a helpmate by God and country. You got somebody there for you in your corner. That's what you have. That's what a husband is. He's on your side. Now, if you're one of those people who are married into a situation where you can't express yourself at all, and there are plenty of people in this country and other countries where they can't express their sexuality whatsoever. It's shut up, cook, clean, yada yada yada. Listen, there's not nothing I can tell you in that situation. You know what I'm saying? But I can say this: anytime you repress a human, that human will find out how to be unrepressed. It is human nature to be free. It really, really is. It's human nature to go up against a system that's trying to hold you back. It's just human nature to nope, we're gonna try to get out of this situation. That's it. However, marriage is a whole different institution, uh, and there are laws within marriage. Listen, the Bible says there's nothing defiled in the bedroom. Okay, he's basically saying, listen, if you two freaks, you're young, you're 20, 22, 23, you guys are married legally, you're doing everything right, you're in a Christian home or whatever your religion is, but you love each other, but you guys are hot in the ass. You're just like, yo, woo, we are screwing every day. That's what happens when you have all that energy. We're going out every day, we're curious. Let's get together with other couples and let's see what they think. That's what you do. You're 29 years old. Hey, you're still young and virile. You present it to your man. Listen, babe, think about the Johnsons down the street. And I think they're an attractive couple. And I don't know. Maybe we should invite him over one day. And I wear that outfit that you like. And he'll be like, what? Wait, what? But see that, but the conversation is now in the air. See what I mean? He's like, okay, so what are we talking about? See, now it's open. Now it's like, listen, I got some stuff that is in me, and I want to try new things. Boom. He's either gonna say yes or no. If he says no, then ladies, that's a no. That's not a go out and cheat on him and get it anyway, because that's how you get come home and everybody is going to the morgue. That is a bad deal right there. And trust me, ain't no sex worth it. All right? Ladies, you invite the conversation to your man. If you're married to that person, invite that conversation to him. There is a way to slip it in there easy where he'll be like, okay, and then he'll start digesting what's going on. And you might find out that he was with it the whole time. I'm going to use myself again as an example. I told this story before, but I'll always have new listeners. I went to, okay, I'll tell this new one. I was 27 years old, working not far from here, actually. I worked at a warehouse. I stayed fit because I ran and I lift weights. So, I'm 6'2", so, I'm young and all that other stuff. I'm standing at a bus stop in my little my little work shirt, sweating because I just got done working. It was during the summer. You know what I'm saying? I'm standing at the bus stop and this car comes past me. And I look and this white woman smiling at me. I'm like, okay, I don't know what the hell is going on here, but white women don't usually run around this hood smiling at black people. I ain't do nothing. I ain't do it, officer. Anyways, they pull over and she's like, come here. Now, for one, I noticed that she's smiling, and two, she's a good looking white woman. So I go over to the red car and I'm looking, and I look and I see on the other side, on the driver's side, is the husband. Then I look at the wife again, and her dress is all the way up, showing me the cootie cat. Okay, people, we already knew what was going on from here. They were like, let me give you a ride home. You think I didn't take that ride home? I was young and goofy. So I did. And of course, we did whatever. See, she's with her husband. And not only that, the husband said, anytime you want to have sex with my wife, you give me a call. Here's my number. And you can bring a friend, as in a guy or a girl. They were some freaks. See, she was like, listen, I'm interested in black men. Okay? Let's go out and just find a random black guy. And that's exactly what they did. And the husband was like, I'm going to keep her. For one, she was tall and beautiful. He's like, I'm not getting rid of her. She's not going nowhere. He was a karate instructor and she was a school teacher. All right. They had some freak all up in there, and next thing you know, she's all up in the hood getting ran through, you know what I'm saying, and all that other kind of stuff. Now, the second time she came over, I actually left because I'm like, this, my spirit isn't in this. So I actually got up and left. But she was still gorgeous. And I'm sure they're still doing that somewhere, but it was not for me. All right. Um, and that's not the only time that has happened to me. Okay. Like I said, I like to use myself as an example. I'm in the club and this black woman comes over to me and starts dancing and pretty much hits on me and gives me her number. I call her house. Her husband answers and like, listen, I used to have threesomes when I was in the military. I introduced her to it. She wants to have a threesome with you. Boom! Black girl, gorgeous. The husband was white. And black couples have done the same thing, either to me or people I know. They're just like, hey, what's up? What's good? Me and my wife want to, do this. So I'm just saying, people, there is a way to introduce your freakiness without getting your head blown off. And for you black women, listen, hold on to your good man. Yeah, listen, a man is not corny when he's holding it down. That's not corny. When he's holding it down, when he's going to work every day and thinking about you and the children that he bore with you, there's nothing corny about that. That is a hardworking, good. I don't care if he's doing $10 an hour, 15. I don't care if he's away. I don't care what it is that he's doing, as long as it's legal. If he's out there hustling and bringing home the bacon, then you need to. And when you get home, you need to be loving that man as soon as he hits the door. You need to be loving that man, because there are so many women who do not have a man that loves them to do anything for them. There are people being left out on the sidewalk. I mean, I don't know if you've seen that video where the mother, she had two kids and she left her son. She was walking away from her son. He was like 6. He had no shoes on or nothing. She's like, I'm leaving him right there. And these other people saw it and they were like, she's trying to leave him. And she was just looking at him and walking away, and the kid was walking behind her. She didn't want nothing to do with that little boy. You think if the father was in their life that would have happened? No, you think if she was married to a loving husband, you think that would have happened? No way. No way. Not whatsoever. Remember the lady that drove her 2 kids into the water and knocked her 2 kids off and said that there was a black guy who did it? Stole the car, yada, yada, yada. Remember that lady? You know why she did that? It was a white woman. You know why she did that? And the first example was a black woman. She did that because the boyfriend that the new boyfriend in her life said he did not want kids. So she had an ultimatum: either I keep the kids or keep the man. I just let you know how important it is to some women out here who do not have a man to get one. Now, of course, she was loony, and that's crazy. You should never do anything like that whatsoever. But it just lets you know that there is a need to have a companionship. And this wasn't a good-looking woman whatsoever either. So who this average Joe came along and started loving on this woman, but he's like, I'm not taking the package deal with your children. And she put those 2 little boys in a car and let that car drift right into the water. I'm saying, ladies, you women out here who are throwing away good men, you women out here who are throwing away good men, listen, I hope you never get a chance at another good man. You women out here who are married to good men, and like I know another situation I know of, and I did not sleep with this woman, but I was dating her sister. This is how scandalous some of these women are. I was dating her sister, and her sister was a hoe anyway, but I was dating her sister, and it's bringing home the bacon. She she needs to fry it up in the pan with a smile on her face, happy. Not one complaint. Listen, listen. This is the role you're supposed to be playing. Either that or stay single. But you're not gonna get the pie in the sky. I'm gonna get a man and I'm not gonna have to do nothing. I'm gonna get a man and a nanny. Listen, the men who make that much money, for one, there's not a lot of them. And then for you women who think there's gonna be pie in the sky, you're gonna get a nanny and the nanny's gonna do all the cooking. You're out of your mind. You better learn how to cook. You know what I'm saying? You better get that out of your head right now. And even if you do have a nanny cooking and taking care of the kids, you better not get fat. You better not let that body get out of hand. You're going to be doing something. That man is going to have you doing something. You're just not going to be laying around just looking, no, and then get a divorce and then take half of what he's got. No, there is something called irreconcilable differences. And irreconcilable differences will come into play. Trust me, and you will get nothing because you did not hold up your end of the deal. Irreconcilable differences. You didn't hold up your end of the deal. You get nothing. That's it. And if you don't want to be left out in the cold and then going back to your mom and dad, trying to explain to them why you got divorced, then if I was you, a lady, I would get it in gear. Hit the treadmill, hit the grocery store, get yourself a recipe book. You know what I'm saying? Ladies don't even have recipe. My mama had a recipe book. Get yourself a recipe book. Learn how to, do kegels, do something. You better do something. You know what I'm saying? You better be wearing your husband out in the bedroom. You got women who don't even want to do that. They don't want to even be feminine anymore. Adele said she doesn't even shave her legs. And she's married. She was like, I don't care what my husband says. Like you people think the husbands grows on trees. Husbands. We're talking about men that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Husbands. You think that's just easy to get. Oh, I can just go out and get any husband. Yeah, okay. You try that. You're going to end up with some lunatic. You're going to end up with somebody who just doesn't care about you or is there to just take what he wants. No, ladies, get a grip on life. Shoot, I forgot what story I was telling you, but okay, so the sister. I was dating the sister, and right, because she knew the value of him. She knew the value of that good man. So yeah, I'm dating the sister, uh, and the sister told me she was like, "Yeah, my sister cheats on her husband." I was like, "Wait, what? Your husband works for the government?" Listen, then not only not and I mean he's a tall, dark skinned brother like me, right? And I'm like, so let me get this straight. Like this dude was so thorough when it came to money. They got two kids together too. This dude was so thorough when it came to money. Like he would go out and if he needed a new vehicle, he would buy it cash. Like he saved his money. He made good money. He knew how to invest in like this brother was on top of his game. And he loved that woman. And she cheats on him. Not cheated, cheats on him. And I met her. And she wanted me to give her the D. I was just looking at her like, I already know that you're a cheating hoe. But I ain't tell her that. I just kind of, like smiling at her like, what what hope is there? Listen, this dude, I wish one of my sisters was around. I'd have been like, get a, get on this dude right here. Get this dude right here. Like, this was a good one right here. He was a shining example of what a man should be in my eyes. And I'm a man. He was a shining example of, I looked up to the dude. I admired the dude. I was like, bro, you're holding it down. I never spoke to him, but I was like, I was so disappointed when the woman I was dating, when she told me how her sister's cheating on this guy did everything right. He was textbook. And the thing about it was, like I said, he made good money. He's a good looking guy. He worked for the government. Do you know how many women would tackle this dude if he walked in their door? Like, this dude was in a high earning position and faithful to the T to his wife. I'm like, no. You think women ain't trying to hit on that dude even though he's married? They're hitting on him because he's married. You think they not trying to get in this dude's draws? Are you out of your mind? The money that this guy makes, he's driving around in a new whatever it is. They see him. Listen, I've had women hit on me, and I'm going to work. I'm working out a temporary service. Here's an example. I'm working downtown on the temporary service. Now, these women don't know that I'm temping. I walk in there suit and tie because, that's how you come to work. Well, that's how I came to work. One woman walks up to me. She was like, my name is so-and-so. I live here. This is how old I am. She's like, I have one son. And she ran down the whole numbers to me like a list. Bah, 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 bah. All the time she's looking up my suit and my shoes. The whole list. And I looked at her and I said, I'm just a temp. She walked away and never spoke to me again. That was it. I was into the conversation. I never had a conversation with that woman again. That was it. And I actually was thankful for that. It hurt a little bit, but I was like, you know what? That's cool. Because if I got with you and lost my job, you would cheat on me. That would be the end of us. So thank you for showing me who you really are at the beginning. No loss at all. But nonetheless, I was still, even though I was temping, I was still getting hit on by these women who had men. These men are coming to pick these women up from their job, and they're trying to get me into bed with them. And in some of the jobs, I was a file clerk. I'm dressed just jeans and a regular shirt, nothing special. These women are still trying to get me to knock them off. Like I said, I like to use me as an example because I just don't understand how a man, what is it that makes you women risk it all over some random guy? There was a woman who cheated on her husband with uh, I what? A drunken loser. Her husband was a firefighter. When he died, he left everything to his son 100%. Ladies, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. This one guy was a construction, like he had his own company in construction. Like, he was balling. And this lady slept with the pool guy. Like, he found out, he was just like, no, I'm done. Like, this guy was balling out of control. He had his own company, the whole nine. I don't get it. Like, listen, listen, ladies, men love coochie. We love it. We have to have it. We love some coochie. Okay. If you really want to get your freak on, find a woman you trust. An example of this. There's a guy who's on internet now, and he has like 11 kids or something like that. 11, 12 kids. But he has them by two different women. Now, the one woman he was married to, and he also has got a kid outside of that. So he has kids by three different women. But the one woman he was married to, little nice, wholesome, dark skinned woman, real calm and serene. He's got like four kids by her. And what he did was he's got two kids by her, two or three. What he did was what she did was she said, I want us to have somebody else in the house. Like, I want us to have another one. She presented it to him. So she had already been going to church and, knew this other woman. And she pretty much just said, listen, do you want to join me and my husband and be a second wife? Do you want to marry my husband? Because they're Israelites. Like, do you want to marry my husband? And she was like, hey, who's the husband? Yada yada. Boom. He had like 6, 7 kids with the other woman, and she actually at one point decided to move out the house and try to date somebody else, but it just didn't work. She came right back to that situation. So both those two women living in the house with all of those kids. I'm saying, ladies, there is a way to get your freak on without losing your husband. There just is. Now, some of you women aren't freaks, or some of you women don't want to share. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not advising you to do something that you shouldn't. I'm not advising you to do something that you're uncomfortable with, but I'm advising you to keep your head on your shoulders where it belongs. Listen, you ladies have tightened the noose around a man's neck when Planned Parenthood and feminism made you believe that your man is expendable and there are other men just like him somewhere out there just waiting for you, and your coochie is the best coochie in the whole world. You listen to these womenists and this music and this all this other don't screw your man type of stuff. You listen to these goofballs put you in a noose. And now with all the stuff happening, with the pandemic happening, with people looting and rioting and all this other crazy stuff, cops just going nuts, and all this crazy stuff, you're finding out real quick that there is one truth that's going all the way across the board. You need a man. All this, I don't need a man, all that is going out the window. There are women on Facebook. This one woman said, you know what? All this independent stuff is just not working for me. I need a boyfriend, husband, brother, uncle, cousin, somebody. I need some help. And then a bunch of women start saying the same thing. Now she's saying this at 45 years old. 45 years old. All that independence, you was independent all these years. You could have been had yourself a good man. You could have had yourself a husband at 30. But oh no, you wanted to be independent and have an attitude and run around while, and share your damn box with a bunch of randos. And next thing you know, you got old. 45 hit you. Pandemic hit you. People taking advantage of you because you're a woman. They don't care if you got a gun or not and all this bullcrap. I'm going to get a gun. What do you think everybody else has? What do you think people are running around with? Okay, go ahead, get a gun. See how that helps you. See how that helps your marriage life. It doesn't. You need a man. And you women who have a man and realize that you need a man, you need to start preaching it from the mountaintop. Because listen, I saw a World Star yesterday with this black guy on TikTok. They was talking about, why don't you get yourself a black woman, because he was sleeping beside his white woman. He was like, I don't like y'all. This is what he's just saying. He's a black man saying, I do not like y'all. Okay, here's another thing that's going viral right now. There's a guy who looked up happy, almost did a video on this. This guy looked up happy women. So he looked up three races. He looked up happy Asian woman, happy black woman, and they just showed happy Asian woman, happy black, and this is on Google. And then he looked up happy white women. I dare you to go on Google and just type in happy white woman and see what you see. you're going to see the majority of those pictures are women who either have a black baby, holding a black baby, or with a black man. Look it up. Just type it in right into Google. Happy white woman. They're saying very clearly that black men are making white women happy. Look, count how many white men that you see with the white women, and then count how many black men, and just keep scrolling down. You're going to just see it repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly. Listen, these white women ain't playing. These little Sarahs and Jessicas and Marys and Karens and Susan, these Susans are on their game right now. They're on their game. Listen, I told y'all about the one white woman told me she'll worship me. I ain't listen. I've never had a black woman tell me that, and I don't even want one to tell me that. But just simple fact that it came out your mouth was just deep to me. Now she ended up marrying a white guy, but she loved to give head to black men, random black men. That was her thing. She was like, I love going down on black men, and I'm just like, well, shoot, you got a lot of sisters who, well, you got to give them the world before they even come anywhere close to that. You got to go through a whole battle and all this fighting just to get some good loving out of them. Now, I'm not coming down on black women. I'm saying that you got to listen. I'm saying you listen. I'm not gonna go out and get me a white woman. I just don't want one. But if you think that I'm not tempted, you're fooling yourself. I just don't want one. I want me a black woman. That's it, and that's all. But I'm tired of going to jail. I'm tired of fighting with y'all. I'm tired of being cheated on. Uh, I'm tired of you waking up with an attitude. I had one woman that just would wake up and just want to argue. I am tired of that. I'm tired of sitting behind bars and knowing I was put in there by a woman I loved. It was cheating on me by dudes that I hate just so I could do something violent to her. I'm not a violent person. I'm not, listen, if I got to wring your damn neck, then I just don't want nothing to do with you. I'm not trying to do prison time. I'm not trying to do numbers. Not over some coochie. Nah, I'll do it over my child in a heartbeat. I'll do some numbers in a minute over my child. You put your hands on my kid, I'm all in. Well, let's go. We all in. You put your hands on my wife, the same thing. But if it's my girl and she's a cheating whore, then there's nothing I can do. And I had a situation like that. You know what I'm saying? My woman wanted me to go and get this money from a coworker that she was working with. He owed her $400, some white dude. So they in the hotel room, or they in the hotel. They got different rooms. I roll up there to the hotel. I'm thinking I'm gonna do my man thing. Dude opens the door, and I looked at him, and then I looked at her, and I looked at him again, and I realized that these two were sleeping together. There's nothing I can do. I can't play the boyfriend if you're going down on this dude when I'm not around. I look like an idiot. And I could just look. I was like, "You're sleeping with this man." I I can't defend you. I can't rescue you. I can't be the shield that you need to be when you're out there spreading your legs for the same guy. I That's it. It was nothing I could do. I said a couple words to him and I left. And I would have looked if this was my woman, and I knew it was a situation, I would have went in his mouth. I'd have been like, "You owe my woman some money, and you need to go ahead and get my woman her money right now. Or it's going to be a situation." And we would have just had to get it in right there, and I would have been that. That would have been that. I had another situation where I was doing business, so I was at a hotel, and the woman I was dating, I brought her to the hotel, and she went downstairs to eat, and some white folks got in her way and wouldn't allow her to get food. And she came up and told me, and I couldn't really do nothing because I mean, she didn't want to give me no loving. She was just trying to. I was like, why did I even bring you to the hotel with me? Why did I bring you on this trip? To let you know what I do. I've known you for the longest time, and you're sitting there like I'm looking at me like I'm a piece of trash. No, I'm not gonna get up and defend you. I'm not. You're not worth it. Because I know somebody else has been up in that ass recently. And that's why you're acting like this. I ain't nothing all of a sudden, but nonetheless, you want to enjoy some of the amenities of being around me. But, you got somebody running up in your ass, and nah, get out of here. Get out of here. I was done. I saw that girl years later. Actually, last summer, I saw her last summer and was like, hey, how you doing? She's like, fine. She's like, come hang out with me tonight. Went and hung out with her to some club. I don't go clubbing anymore. This was for the pandemic. Then we went to another club and she was like, so, I want to sleep with you tonight. It's like, nah. She's like, listen, I'm ready to get married. I'm a wife looking for a husband. I'm like, no. Because when I wanted you, you wanted to turn your ass up to someone else. But all of a sudden now you want me. I walked away from her. And it make it so bad. When I walked away from her, there was another woman looking right at me like, yo, I'll take that deal. You women are silly. Stop being that way. Somebody is gonna snatch up your man. I had one woman tell me, so I wanted to be with her, right? I really wanted to be with her. And she was like, no, I don't want to be with you. So she jumped on a bus and went to New York. She's like, I'm moving to New York. I don't want to be around you, blah, 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 blah. And some other women were on the bus, some black women were on the bus, and they was like, yo, you all right? She was like, I'm running from, my, boyfriend or whatever. He wants to be with me. I don't want to be with him. They was like, is he beating you? She was like, no. They was like, well, is he abusing you? It was like, no. They said, does he go to work? She was like, yeah, he goes to work. They said, what's he look like? She was like, he's tall, athletic, blah, blah, blah. And those women on there said, give me his number. They was like, I'll take him. She was like, my dude ain't even trying to find no work. She's like, I'll take him. You know what I'm saying? Give us his number. Like these girls around her got on her ass. They was like, I'll take to give us his number. She was like, no. Wait a minute. So you don't want me. You're running away from somebody who you ain't, who's not chasing you. You're running away from a good dude. And these women realize that I'm a good dude. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, yo, okay, pass them on to me. But you're like, no. So you rather keep a man in limbo and broken heart and all that other stuff and just run off and act like somebody's really chasing your dumb ass. Nah, get the hell out of here. I'm just saying, women are silly. Somebody gonna snatch a man up and she's still single today. You went to jail over something? Oh yeah. That said to me, yeah, I've been to jail twice. Yeah, these females will get you knocked out. That's what I mean to see them at the hotel. I just don't get it, ladies. I don't get you women. I've never been a rich man. Although I almost hit the lottery twice. Almost won $10 million twice. But I've never been a rich man, but I've always been a working man. You know what I'm saying? And now I work for myself. I do what I want to do now. Uh, so I just don't understand why you women couldn't hold on to just a good, solid dude. And then and the woman that, ran away, jumped on the bus, she ended up coming right back to Columbus. And then she got herself a boyfriend, and his name was the same as mine, first name. And then come to find out that he was cheating on her. And she found out and she beat the woman up. And I just laughed because karma is something. Karma is a real B. I'm trying to tell you. She got exactly what she dished out with me. Got exactly what she dished out. Guy with my same name too. I mean, come on. Who could have saw that coming? And yeah, it's just like, damn, he's cheating on you. a woman who I would have married hands down. I would have married you, but once again, I was spared. I was spared from being brokenhearted. Listen, hindsight is 2020. When yeah, yeah, the wow is you know what I'm saying? Hindsight is 2020. You females, listen, being a baby mama is not cute. Is that like I don't admire baby mom. Like who's doing that? Only other women are admiring a baby mama, the status of baby mama. Only other women are admiring that. You're a baby mama. I'm a baby. My little boy. He's so bad. Who brags about being their child being bad? Your child's bad. That's good. Like no man wants to take on your badass children. Like I I don't get you females philosophy. I don't. How did I almost hit the lottery? Okay, so I was 31 years old, and I was working at the Ohio House of Representatives as a legislative aide, and I was making about $11 an hour. You know, not a lot of money. And I was at one of these girlfriends I've already talked about house, and I decided to play the lottery just to try my luck. And the first three numbers came out, and I was like, okay. And then the fourth number came out, and I hit it, and I was like, okay. And the last number was a five, and I had a three. That was $10 million down. And another time, uh, yeah, karma's a bee. Another time, years later, I was playing the lottery because I just didn't have a lot of money. I listen, I didn't even have my rent money. And I needed money bad, but I had a couple dollars on me from a temp job I just got done doing. So I walked into a BP and was like, give me a rolling cash five. Was it a rolling? No, it was a yeah, I think it was a rolling cash five. I was like, give me a rolling cash five. So I got a rolling cash five, went back to my car, sat out there, scratched it off, and I had four out of five numbers. That was $300. I took the $300 and paid my rent with it. True story. True story. So most of the time I play rolling cash five. I don't play the big numbers. But I don't even play rolling cash five anymore. I just don't. You know what? I might play it today just to see what happens. Because rolling cash five, you win. You know, the least amount is like $100,000, which is after taxes $64,000. I'm not really looking to be rich, but I can take $64,000 and be happy. I don't want to be famous like that. I don't want everybody coming at me. I want to be just a guy who has a good amount of money so he can just do whatever he wants. Uh, I want to travel somewhere. Boom, I got money. Anyway, so yeah, ladies, stop throwing your good men away. Stop doing it because somebody else is going to pick up your trash or what you thought was trash. And then, like I said, when that woman was on the bus, those other women, the sisterhood is fragile. Because at first, the women are all on her side, like, oh, girl, yeah, like, what's going on? You look like you need some help. But when they started listening to her story, they was upset with her because they realized that she's the problem. Wait a minute, he's a good dude. They even asked if I smoked or drink. I was like, wait, he don't smoke, he don't drink, he goes to work, he's 6'2". They even asked her if I had a small winky. They was like, oh, he's got a little. She was like, nah. She's like, no, he checks off on all of those. Boom, 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 boom. They was like, girl, give us his number. She's like, no. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Stop throwing away your men. They will brag about them being bad, but get upset when the man they want to be with don't want to date them because of them. Yeah, listen, if you want a bad dude or a dude that's out here doing bad, and there's two types of doing bad. There's doing bad, he ain't making no money. I done been there before. And doing bad, he's just a bad guy. I've never been that guy. Go get him. Knock yourself out. Go get the guy who's just, a terrible person and he's going to knock you around. Listen, I understand that. It really comes down to energy signatures, is really what it is. The guy who puts out the most energy is the one you're attracted to because you want to have children by him. You do. I mean, you want to have children by the guy putting out the most energy, the guy who's making money. That is a natural phenomenon. Listen, I understand that 100%, but there is nature and then there's common sense. Okay. All right. Have yourself some common sense because that guy who's putting out all that energy is not only looking at you. There are, hundreds of other women who are looking at him, and he's going to go and, inseminate some of those women. And you're just going to be a number. You're just going to be a number. I'm sorry. You know, Iggy Azalea, sorry. You're just a number. You want to know why Playboy Cardi about you after you had a baby with him? Why? Because you're just a number. His name is Playboy Cardi. Playboy. You know what I'm saying? So you get these cats who put out these music and the music is a hit, and you get these women who go and they have their children, and then they're wondering why they're just baby mamas. Well, the guy doesn't care, but once you come down off of that high, you realize, oh, this dude doesn't give a damn about me. Now, a lot of women don't look like her, so she'll be okay. She'll find somebody to marry her, just like Russell Wilson's wife. I mean, good Lord. You know what I'm saying? But she got a kid by Future. How many children does Future have? And he talks about having more. It's just not cute. It's just not cute. You don't even know who the brother and sister of your child is. Listen, ladies, don't aspire to be a baby mama. And I know a lot of women are doing this because they're getting a hold of the guy who's making all this money. So now it's a whole different system. It's a payday because you can sue the guy for child support. That doesn't always go as planned, ladies. That's a hard road to toe. Trust me. And a good example is Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders was married to that, beautiful woman, that the woman that he had, until they weren't. And then she wanted all this money and then all this child support, yada yada yada. And he was like, "No, get out my house." And the two sons are with him. And then there is the case of Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade has a child by uh, his oldest son. That's not by Gabriel Union. And that the mother was sitting out on the corner talking about she's Dwayne Wade's baby mama, who she is, and she's broke. She's like, I don't have any money. See, that whole child support system didn't work for her because guess who has the child? Dwayne Wade has the child. I mean, go and look it up. You can look it up for yourself. Sometimes they find that you're not fit to raise the child. And if they have enough money, that they have enough money and good lawyers, then the lawyers will side with the man instead of the woman. So it's not going to be like Usher in his case, where he married the chick with two kids and then she hurried up and got pregnant by him. And then boom, now he's paying, how many thousands of dollars for child support. And Holly Berry, look at her case. Holly Berry, she's going to court trying to get child support and all this. Like, it's not an easy thing to do to find one of these men who's putting out all these energy, and all of a sudden you can rope them down for child support because you're not always going to be the one the court sides with. They don't like to separate the child from the mother, but if they think the father can raise that child better, then guess who's going to get the kid? And you're not getting any money because child support is for the child. It's not for you. It's not for you. So they're not going to support you. You're getting nothing. And that's why the woman's like, I'm getting nothing. She gave the way Wayne her most valuable asset, which is having a child, and then boom, she gets zilch, zero, nada. The child grew up with Dwayne Wade. Yeah, cut that out. Stop thinking that, yeah, well, I'm gonna get over on him and have his baby. Doesn't always work like that. Are you sitting out in front of her? Yeah, I'm sitting in my car. The bad attitude will get them nowhere. Will get you nowhere. You got to understand that some of these guys who can, I'm in my car, my Avalanche, I clean it up today. Some of these guys who can afford a good lawyer, they can go out and have a child. They can go out and have a child, and then boom, you're not getting any money because you gave up your womb and you had a child with this guy. Not getting nothing. He's going to come along and take that child. And the court's going to side with him because he paid the court. That's how the courts are rolling. Who's got the most money? That's how the courts get down. And they're going to side with the father. They're going to see how the father's lifestyle is, and they're going to look at how the mother's lifestyle is. If the mother is barely getting by and they know that he was a payday, and they see the father doing good, who can supply this child with, heck, private tutoring, can, send this kid to whatever school he wants to, they're not going to take that child from him. They're going to be like, you can provide the best household for this kid. This woman lives in a shady neighborhood. So, yeah, you can stay with the father. But you're allowed to come see your child, of course. They don't want you to be separated from the child where you can't see the child. But the child support system is not, they're not going to be sending any checks to your house. So there goes your payday. Gone. Or in the worst case, Anna Nicole Smith. That was a payday. And both of them knew it. And then what happened to her? And then what happened to her kid? Yeah, it was all the payday. So you got to be careful, ladies, when you're going out just to gaffle a man. You're going out just to, catch this dude off balance and then, try to have a kid with him, because it doesn't always work in your favor. And when it works against you, no one feels sorry for you. All these women are, yeah, girl, get that money, get paid. He's so and so. Get it. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. You got women out here breaking condoms and doing all kind of scandalous stuff. Everybody hears about this stuff. Look at what Steven Jackson, and what he talked about. Steven Jackson was like, he told the story of how the woman, the gold digger that was in his life, she tried to get him to marry, and then without signing a prenup, and then at the end find out that she was trying to gold dig him all the whole time and get him not to sign that prenup. And this was when he was at the height in his zenith in the NBA. So she was trying to get paid. We know a really good dude married to a hoe, left her, took his daughter, and raised one. You daggone right. See, when things like this happen, especially when they're, these men are, in the upper echelons financially, these men tell what happened. And what it does is it works out bad for the ladies who are coming into the game, who are trying to get courtside. Also, that's why a lot of these women are trying to get courtside as much as possible, because they want the ball players to notice them. Now, I'm not mad if you want a single ball player, a guy who's single or he's just dating around to notice you. Yeah, 100. Get that guy to notice you. If you're gonna wife him up, 100%. Yeah, get him to notice you. Wife him up, hold that down. I'm not mad about that game. But look at Steph Curry's wife. Steph Curry's wife, gorgeous, right? Got 3 kids by him. And then one day, she's with the husband, and these women are trying to get past her to the husband. And she's like, what's going on here? And the women said, you knew what you signed up for. I mean, they're not wrong. He's number, what, 1 or 2 in the NBA? They're not wrong. You know what I'm saying? The woman was spending the rent money on a bum. Her husband was giving her rent money. Yeah, well, you know what? She got what she deserved. No child. Boom. Get out. Get out of my house. And then Steph Curry's wife got the nerve, Aisha Curry got the nerve to go on a talk show and get upset because men aren't looking at her like they used to. And it pissed men off. It pissed us off royally because Steph Curry could be cheating on you in your face. He could be a dog of a dude. And there are so many women who will let him do it. He could just be just a 100% complete dog and divorce you, give you half, roll out. Pay child support, so what? Completely leave you. Do you think you're going to get another Steph Curry? You want child support? Fine. Here's your whatever in child support. Here's half, whatever. Bye. Goodbye. I'm going to run around with these hookers and call girls and a bunch of other babies' mamas. And I'm going to knock. I'm a do like the Lakers did back in their height. You know what I'm saying? James Worthy and all those guys and Magic Johnson. And I'm just going to run through them until I'm dry. Until I've had enough. When the house came out of the bathroom, he told her to put her and get the F out. Get the French toast out. Get the hell out. Get all the way out. That's how they do. But yeah, Steph Curry could do, he is a master of his own universe. There's nobody like him in the NBA. No one like Steph Curry. And he's making millions and millions of dollars hand over fist. And you're going to get on a woman's show and embarrass your man like that. Nobody's looking at me like that. Trick, nobody's looking at you like that. Uh, Simply because, for one, you're married to a great guy. Some guys are respectful. And then some guys are looking at you like that because you're an actual payday. So you don't want that noise. You don't really want that noise, Aisha Curry. Okay, so cut it out. You don't really want that noise. You don't want that unwarranted attention. But you're gonna get on there and embarrass a man like that who's faithful to you. I that was it for me. Same woman just don't know when it, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like Steph Curry makes millions. Listen, the last time I checked, he was making 200 million a freaking year, and that's without his shoe deals. That's without his commercials because he's such a great guy. That's without his commercials. That's without any movies that he's in. This guy's making a great amount of money. He's a good looking guy. He's a stand up looking guy. His parents are good looking people. They're NBA royalty, and you're gonna do this to him on public TV. It just, there's no hope. There's no hope. There's no hope for the regular guy. There's no hope. Stay single. Stay single, regular man. It's just not going to happen for you. No matter what you do, no matter who you are, your wife is going to cheat. She's going to want another D at some time. And it's just terrible. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and go. I got some clothes to wash. Peace out.